Hi, this is Dave the Guitar Guy, and we're coming to you from the south side of Chicago as normal. And today, for the first time ever, I have a guest musician with me. His name is Scott. He's my cousin, and he actually taught me my first chords on the guitar, and he's much better than I am. But today we want to teach you a simple blues pattern that you could jam with your friends. And today we picked the key of E to do it in. And there's several different ways to play the blues, but today what we're playing are called the 1-4-5 blues, and I believe we'll be doing that in the 12 bars, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, and Scott's going to explain to you what the 1-4-5 means. And that has nothing to do with time. That is only the key changes, and that's what you know what chord to go to next. Okay, Scott, go ahead.
Okay, so if you pick any note, you don't have to know music well, but if we're going to start with E, which is E, F, G, A would be the 4, and B would be the 5, so 1-4-5. So whatever you're going to start out with, if we're going to play like an E chord, then that means the next chord is E, F, G, A. It's going to be A. But for blues, what we're going to do is you don't have to play the whole chord all the way through like this or a whole A. We're just going to use 2 notes. And the whole key to the blues is this riff where you put this finger off and on. It's a partial chord on the E. So that this finger is just going on the same string to above. And you strum them together. This is really slowed down. That's the basic feel. So like Dave pointed out, so if this is E, E, F, G, A, when we need to switch, the nice thing about this is you can just drop down and now you're going to hit the open A string and then you'll be hitting the D string, which is fretted on the 2nd fret. You do the same thing. And then the last one will be the B, which is tricky because there's really no way to play open string B. So you'd have to play it like as a bar chord, a partial bar chord, these 2 notes here. That's quite a stretch for the pinky, but we'll show you at the end if we have the time how you can do it on all open strings.
Well, let me do that right now real quick. The way I like to play a B sometimes, it's called a B7th, and if you all want to get a good look at that right there, that's where you put your fingers. And as usual, the X are strings you don't want to play. O's are the strings you do want to play open. So you're going to mute this E string and play the rest of those. And to me, that's it's just a little bit easier than playing the full B major chord, and it sounds a little more bluesy. And it's going to sound like this. And then you can go back to your A to E. Okay? And now Scott will tell you more about the timing.
Yeah, so we don't run out of time, so we'll work with the E example. Some people get this down and then they're like, well, when do I know when to switch to the next note or the next chord? Some people can just feel it or hear it and know it's time to change. But if not, there's the most common form of blues is 12-bar blues, and they call it 12 bars because you don't have to, again, think of bars if you don't want or timing. But if you at least tap your foot when you play, which helps me a lot, and think of every tap as 1 and 2, and so I don't count the ands, I just do 1, 2, so there'll be 2 taps for every count. So the reason they come up with 12-bar blues is what we're going to do is we're going to play this E 4 times by the count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, now we switch and go 2. Now you can do it all different ways, there's no right or wrong way, that's the neat thing, but if you ever hear the term 12-bar blues, it's because they do 4, then they do 2, back to 2, then the top chord, which is, remember for us, is going to be the B, that would be 2, A, 2, 2. So we can give an example of that and just like play something. I can play a progression and Dave could do some licks.
Yeah, what I was going to do is I was going to overlay a little bit. Once you learn this and you get good at it, and if you've seen some of my other videos, I talk a lot about putting fingers on, taking fingers off to give different sounds, and that's what most musicians do. That's why sometimes you might be playing a chord and it doesn't sound quite right. That's because a musician might be taking a finger off or adding a finger, something like that. So I'm going to show you a couple little licks. The first one, for the ending of the blues progression is a pretty neat little one. It's in the, I forgot the name of this chord. Scott, can you help me out real quick? Do you remember offhand? Well, anyway, I meant to look this up and have it ready for you. But if you start it on the 4th fret, you can go. And go to that B again. So it's. Whoops, sorry. D. Now watch me add an. I'm going to add my pinky now. Pinky the last string there. And now I can play open G while he's doing that. And again go to A and try adding your pinky to the 3rd fret. So that's basically it. And like I said, once you get, once you start jamming with your buddies a little bit more, you just start figuring out these little licks. They're all over the place. The key of E for leads, just what we call like the box, would be like these notes here. You start at the 12th fret, which is an E. This is just E octave, 12 notes higher. You can go. You can play any of those notes and they'll fit in your blues program. Well, okay, and as well as I did that on the 12th fret, I'm doing the same thing here, even though there's no fret, so it's open. You're in E already, so you can go. That's just something to get you started, but to play the leads, you can mess around with stuff like that. Is there anything you want to add, Scott?
No, except that if you're a little more advanced and if you get bored, like Dave said, doing this riff, you can try to work your pinky finger, which is good to try to start learning to use as early as you can. And what you would do is your hand stays in the same shape, but we can add this note. So instead of just going, you can do this. It's just more practice for your hand. Makes it a little more complex. But the only other thing I'd add real quick is if you have a problem with this B chord, remember it's 1, 4, and 5. So if you want to use all open strings, you can do everything we just did in A, which start with A though. So if you have A, B, C, you're going to be D and E, which means this is our A, this is our D, this is our E. So real fast, you'd be doing this up to D, but now the 5 is going to be E. So see, they're all like this. Nothing. You're not going to have to actually play the, go open to open and then do this up here. If that's too hard, you can just do everything like this.
Yeah, so, and to wrap it up again with the 1, 4, 5, if you want to start in B, count B, C, D, E would be your next chord. So you're going to start in B, then go to E, and your 5th chord would be F. Because as we all know, the chords and notes go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A again. So let's say you wanted to start in C. C, D, E, F would be your next chord, G would be your next chord. It's as simple as that for the 1, 4, 5. And I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to write either one of us, Dave or Scott, and we will answer you immediately. Thanks a lot and have a great day. Peace out.
Bye.